What if the person on trial isn't the monster the prosecution painted, but the only witness to a crime so deeply embedded in the justice system itself that exposing it requires destroying your own career? In The Wrong Victim, Peter Kirkland delivers a courtroom thriller that transforms legal procedure into moral crucible, proving that sometimes the most dangerous verdict isn't delivered from the bench, it's whispered in backrooms where power protects its own. This isn't merely another whodunit with flashy cross-examinations. It's a meticulously researched, emotionally devastating exploration of institutional corruption, prosecutorial overreach, and the terrifying cost of defending someone everyone has already condemned. From the first gavel strike narration, listeners are seated in a gallery where every objection feels like defiance, and every piece of evidence carries the weight of systemic failure. Perfect for fans of authentic legal suspense and stories where truth is harder to find than guilt, this audiobook serves up relentless pacing, ethical complexity, and a protagonist whose journey from ambitious lawyer to reluctant whistleblower resonates with anyone who's ever believed in a system that stopped believing in them. When defense attorney Elena Rossi takes on the case of Marcus Chen, a quiet janitor accused of murdering a prominent judge, she expects a straightforward wrongful conviction, not to uncover a conspiracy implicating her own firm, the DA's office, and the very courthouse where she built her reputation. But as Elena peels back layers of fabricated evidence and coerced testimony, she realizes Marcus isn't just innocent, he's been deliberately framed to silence what he witnessed. Kirkland masterfully avoids reducing the legal system to cartoonish villainy or Elena to saintly savior. Instead, he crafts a narrative where justice is negotiated in gray zones, where winning means losing everything you thought defined success, and where the real victim isn't the dead judge, but the idea of fairness itself. The audiobook narration amplifies this tension with forensic precision, capturing Elena's disciplined advocacy fracturing into raw determination, while secondary voices shift subtly between professionalism and complicity, making every courtroom exchange feel loaded with unspoken stakes. You don't just hear the trial unfold, you feel the seismic shift of a woman learning that integrity isn't a credential, but a choice made when no one is watching. What elevates The Wrong Victim beyond typical legal thrillers is its nuanced portrayal of defense work as both vocation and moral reckoning. Elena isn't merely proving innocence, she's confronting how her ambition blinded her to systemic rot, challenging the notion that competence requires complicity. Her relationship with Marcus evolves through acts of radical witness, listening without agenda during jailhouse visits, protecting his dignity against media caricature, and honoring his silence as much as his testimony. Supporting characters shine with uncomfortable authenticity. Veteran attorneys whose cynicism masks trauma, young associates navigating ethical minefields, even the courthouse itself, rendered as living archive whose marble halls absorb centuries of compromised verdicts. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In institutions built on hierarchy, truth is insurgent, and loyalty to principle often demands betrayal of tribe. Even the legal mechanics serve thematic depth, with discovery rules mirroring emotional excavation and jury selection becoming metaphor for societal bias. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive exercise in procedural dread. The narrator embodies Elena's evolving perspective with remarkable range, from polished courtroom cadence to trembling vulnerability in private moments, while supporting characters are distinguished through vocal textures that hint at hidden loyalties without telegraphing twists. Sound design enhances claustrophobia without gimmickry, distant murmurs of gallery crowds marking public scrutiny, the sharp click of briefcases during tense negotiations, the oppressive silence of chambers where deals are struck in shadows, all ground psychological stakes in sensory reality. Pacing mirrors the rhythm of litigation, deliberate during evidence review and reflection, then surging with urgency as deadlines loom and secrets breach containment. Whether you're commuting through city streets or sitting in quiet contemplation, the audiobook creates a portable courtroom where isolation feels absolute and truth feels a lifeline. It's storytelling as embodied accountability, transforming passive listening into active participation in a search where justice demands more than skill, it demands sacrifice. Ultimately, The Wrong Victim redefines the legal thriller by centering ethical courage within procedural frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for intricate plotting and shocking reveals, while delivering substantive commentary on racialized injustice, professional identity, and the radical act of choosing conscience over career. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether the system can be fixed from within, or if true advocacy requires bridging burning, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most important verdicts happen outside the courtroom, in the quiet moments when you choose to stand alone. Press play, take your seat, and prepare to question everything you thought you knew about law, order, and the price of doing right. Your next obsession isn't waiting in clean acquittals. It's waiting in the terrifying intimacy of realizing the wrong victim was never the defendant, but justice itself.